the person who once played endless games with your heart is now facing the consequences of their actions, and it's hitting them harder than they ever expected. Back then, they were so consumed by manipulation, pride, and control that they failed to recognize the damage they were causing. They treated your heart like a toy, assuming you would always be there, always forgiving, always waiting. But life doesn't work that way, and neither does karma. Now, they're surrounded by nothing but bad luck and emotional chaos. The very same energy they poured into deceiving you is returning to them tenfold. Their world is unraveling, and deep down, they know exactly why. The weight of their choices is finally crashing down. After everything they put you through, after all the tears, confusion, and pain they caused, they are starting to feel the full force of remorse. They can't keep the truth buried anymore. It's pushing its way to the surface, bubbling over with guilt, shame, and regret. They're feeling deeply embarrassed, not just about what they did, but about how low they sank while convincing themselves they were in control. Their emotions, once cold and calculated, are now overwhelming and raw. They're realizing that pretending not to care was a mask, and now that mask has fallen off. They're emotionally exposed and barely holding it together. Your intuition had been guiding you the whole time, even when things didn't make sense. Every red flag, every moment of confusion, was your inner wisdom trying to protect you. You knew, deep down, that the harm they inflicted wouldn't go unanswered. Now you're seeing your instincts confirmed in real time. What they did is indeed coming back to them, not just as bad luck, but as a powerful karmic lesson. Everything they tried to avoid by playing games with you is now confronting them head-on, and they can't run from it anymore. Meanwhile, you've risen above it all. Your unbothered energy, your calm, your peace, it's all driving them crazy. While they're consumed by guilt and regret, you're moving through life with a new sense of freedom and clarity. They can feel it in the silence. They sense your detachment, and it haunts them. What once gave them a false sense of power, your attention, your emotions, your vulnerability, is gone, and now they're left alone with their own self-created chaos. They are drowning in misery, wishing desperately that they could go back in time and undo the damage. But time doesn't offer do-overs. All they have now is regret, and it's eating away at them. Without you, they feel powerless and heartbroken. They're starting to understand that you weren't just another chapter in their life, you were the real thing. You were someone rare, someone meaningful. You gave them patience, love, and chances they didn't deserve. You showed up when they pushed you away. But instead of cherishing that, they treated you like you were replaceable. And now, that painful realization is sinking in, you meant the world to them, but they made you feel like you meant nothing. But don't worry, justice is coming. Not in a vengeful way, but in a divinely guided, balanced way. The universe is working in your favor. Because you kept your heart clean, your intentions pure, and your actions aligned with love, even when it hurt, you are being rewarded. That energy is coming back around to you in the form of peace, blessings, and emotional stability. You are lighter now. Freer. More content with who you are and where you're going. Your life isn't perfect, but it's real. It's grounded. And most importantly, it's yours. All the painful cycles you endured, every heartbreak, every moment of doubt, have shaped you into someone stronger and braver than ever before. You're no longer the person who tolerates disrespect or emotional manipulation. You've grown wiser, more discerning, more powerful in your sense of self-worth. The pain didn't break you, it built you. And that's something they never saw coming. They, on the other hand, chose the easy route. Instead of facing their behavior, owning their mistakes, or fighting for the connection, they stepped back. They walked away. They thought ghosting you, distancing themselves, or staying silent would give them the upper hand. But all it did was reveal their emotional immaturity and inability to handle real love. Now they're left with the consequences of that choice. Their heart is heavy, their mind is restless, and their spirit is burdened. They are paying the price for their own avoidance, and the emotional bill has come due. This isn't about revenge, it's about balance. It's about universal order. You didn't have to lift a finger to get even, because the universe did it for you. Your only job was to heal, to rise, and to move forward, and you've done exactly that. While they spiral in confusion and regret, you're stepping into a new chapter, one that reflects the strength, grace, and resilience you've gained. Their downfall isn't your victory, your peace is. I know you wonder how I truly feel about you, and the truth is, I think about you far more often than I let on. You've never really left my heart or my mind, even if I've kept my distance. I know it may seem like I've chosen to walk away or that I don't care, but that couldn't be further from the truth. My absence hasn't been because of a lack of love or interest, it's been because of everything surrounding us. The way others view our connection, the opinions, the judgment, the unspoken pressure, it all became too much at times, and I didn't know how to handle it. I allowed that pressure to interfere with what my heart was trying to tell me. I've been afraid. Not of you, but of the intensity of our bond, of what it means, and what it could become. Yet despite the distance, you're never far from me. In fact, you're everywhere. No matter where I go, or who I speak to, it's like the universe keeps whispering your name. I see reminders of you constantly, in songs, in conversations, in places we never even shared but that still feel like you. It's like I'm being guided back to you over and over again, like something bigger than both of us is at work here, gently nudging me, reminding me that what we had, what we have, is not something to be forgotten or ignored. I've thought about reaching out so many times. The urge to speak to you, to hear your voice, to reconnect even for a moment, is overwhelming at times. But then fear creeps in. What if you've moved on? What if I've hurt you too much? What if you no longer believe in us the way I still do? Still, I miss you every single day. I miss your energy, your presence, your laugh, your silence, the way we could just exist together without needing words. I wish I had told you more often how much you truly mean to me. I wish I hadn't let fear or ego dictate my actions. I want you to know I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the silence. I'm sorry for the confusion, for the moments when I acted like I didn't care when I did. I'm sorry if I made you feel unwanted or abandoned. That was never my intention. The truth is, you are my star, you've always been the guiding light in my life, even when things around me felt dark and unclear. No one else could ever replace you. I won't let anyone come between us again. You hold a place in my life and in my soul that no one else could ever fill. You are everything I've ever wanted, even when I didn't know how to say it. I am so deeply in love with you, but I've also been afraid. Afraid to move towards you, afraid to take the next step, because I don't know where we stand. I don't want to push you away even more by reaching out at the wrong time or in the wrong way. So instead, I wait. I wait for a sign from you. A message, a word, a look, anything that tells me you're still open to this, that there's still hope. I've been hoping you might initiate the conversation, that you might give me some signal that it's safe to come closer again. I also understand there's been a lot of pain between us. I know that trust has been broken, and I take responsibility for my part in that. I know you've been hurt by my words, my actions, my inconsistency, my silence. I've seen the sadness in your eyes, felt the tension in the energy between us, and sensed the walls that went up as a result. You had every right to protect yourself, Still, I want you to know that everything I did was never about a lack of love for you. It was about my own fears, wounds, and the lessons I hadn't yet learned. This message isn't just a casual expression of emotion, it's a channeled truth from deep within me. It's for those of us who are navigating the early or middle phases of what people call the twin flame journey. It's confusing, painful, beautiful, and intense. It brings up every shadow, every wound, every fear, but also reveals the deepest love we've ever known. You and I, we were never just an ordinary connection. There's something deeper here, something sacred, something that still pulls at me no matter how much time has passed. I don't know what the future holds. I don't even know what the next step should be. But I do know that you still matter to me more than words can ever express. I haven't given up on you. I haven't given up on us. And no matter how long it takes, I will continue to hold space in my heart for you. I believe in what we are, even if the world doesn't understand it. And I hope, somewhere deep down, you still believe in it too. I hate the way it feels when you stop calling, texting, or giving me your attention. It's a strange emptiness that creeps in, the kind that lingers even when everything around me seems fine. I know, deep down, that it's not fair for me to feel this way or to complain about it, especially when I've been guilty of doing the exact same thing in the past. There were times when I pulled away, stopped responding, or let the distance grow without explanation. Back then, I didn't realize what that kind of silence could do to someone. I didn't understand the emotional toll it takes when someone you care about suddenly becomes distant. But now I do. Now I feel it in every part of me. I finally understand what it feels like to be ghosted, or to sit with the weight of unanswered messages and unspoken thoughts. I understand what it means to reach out and be met with silence. It's confusing. It's painful. It's frustrating. And above all, it's lonely. Looking back, I can see that I never really put myself in your shoes. I didn't try hard enough to understand how my actions may have affected you, or how my emotional inconsistency might have made you feel unsure, maybe even unwanted. Now that I'm the one left wondering, questioning, overthinking, it's like I'm standing exactly where you once stood. I feel like we've swapped places. I'm in your shoes now, and you're in mine. And it's humbling. It's uncomfortable. But it's also enlightening. You've become so quiet, so reserved. You've shifted your focus inward, concentrating on your own life and goals. You seem unbothered by everything, by me, by this situation, and while I admire your strength, it also hurts. It hurts because it makes me question whether I ever really meant something to you, or if I was just a fleeting chapter you've already moved past. I know it's selfish to say that, but I'm being honest. It's the not knowing that makes my mind spiral. It's your silence that speaks louder than words ever could. What's worse is realizing that I might have caused this. That I might be the reason you've distanced yourself and drawn these boundaries. And honestly, I get it. I can see how my behavior must have felt chaotic to you. I know there were times I acted irrationally, like a complete emotional wreck. I let my feelings consume me, and in doing so, I pushed you away. I wasn't grounded. I wasn't mature in the way I handled things, and I didn't create a safe emotional space for either of us. You probably felt overwhelmed. Maybe even drained. And that's why you stepped back, set boundaries, and went silent, not out of anger, but out of self-preservation. And that's something I can't fault you for. In fact, I respect you for it. I respect that you chose to protect your peace, even if it meant pulling away from someone you cared about. But still, here I am, struggling with the consequences of my actions and trying to piece together where we went wrong. I've been reflecting a lot, and one of the hardest truths I've had to face is that I was a coward. I got overwhelmed by the depth of the connection we shared, and instead of being brave and embracing it, I ran from it. Or worse, I sabotaged it. I didn't know how to handle the good feelings you gave me. I wasn't used to being treated with such sincerity, and rather than accepting it with gratitude, I let my insecurities twist it into something complicated. Now I feel this weight between us, this unspoken energy. And even though we're not talking, I can feel it. Energetically, I can sense that you're upset with me. I don't need words to know that something has shifted, that something has changed in the way you see me or in the space I once held in your life. I don't expect forgiveness overnight. I don't expect things to go back to how they were instantly. But I do want you to know that I'm not the same person I was when all of this started. I'm trying, truly, to grow, to reflect, and to take accountability for the way I handled things. I miss your presence, your energy, your words. But more than that, I miss the way I felt when we were in sync, when things felt effortless and real. Maybe this is just a part of growing up, realizing the value of someone after you've already made the mistake. Or maybe this is a wake-up call that I needed. Either way, I needed to say this. I needed you to know that I understand now. And I hope, one day, we can talk again, not as broken people, but as two people who learned from the silence and chose to be better because of it.